We'll beat on this just a little bit more and it should end up just about. Oh. Hey, you're back at Freedom One Garage. It's cold today, but it's bearable. It's, well, let's go look. What's it gonna say? Ooh, warmed up. It's 40 degrees in the shop. It's about 30 degrees outside. So, lessons learned in, I guess, my first 8 months of deciding this is what we're gonna do. By next winter, I gotta have this place insulated and some sort of heat source in here because, not because I'm a wimp, I can work in the cold to a certain extent. Next week's gonna be brutal. But here in the heartland, the issue is it's about late morning lunchish time before, you know, it's a reasonable enough temperature in the shop that you can work and your hands don't freeze up constantly and that kind of stuff. My line is about 30 degrees, give or take 1 or 2. Seems like if I keep moving, my hands don't get cold, don't have to wear gloves, all that good stuff. But, so anyway, you get back out in the shop, here I go rambling again. You got in the shop, say noon, it gets dark by 5. And as soon as that sun hits, you know, the horizon, it starts getting cold. So I can't get enough hours in the day in the shop. That's all there is to it. It doesn't feel productive or efficient, and so we're going to fix it for next winter. For the rest of this winter, we're just going to tough it out, I think. But I have started pricing, you know, gosh darn it, building materials, you guys. I've said this before, we're not going into debt for this venture. If I can't do it with money out of my pocket, we'll wait. And we'll keep working hard until we've got the money in our pocket to get it done. Anyway, we're back on the Bronco. Told you this is part 2 of the floors. We've got this cleaned up, the driver's side here, to where we can at least start to fabricate and guesstimate and see what it's going to take to get our replacement floor pan in here. But first of all, we're gonna go at this section over here on the kick panel. There was rust right in this area, and so we're gonna make this piece from scratch. We'll make a template. Let's get that welded in and somewhat happy, and then we can deal with our floor pan. We've got a replacement pan for this piece. So first things first, we got to find some dad pop boxes or something that we can make a little cardboard template out of. And like I said in the last video, we're going to go above and beyond what Ford did. We're not going to leave this corner open here and just dab a big bunch of gunk in there. We're going to actually follow this radius out and make a panel, patch panel that covers that whole area. Okay, so we were able to, you know, we kind of sort of saved. It was mangled, but we took the piece that we cut out of here, and I gotta reach under here, and we took it over to the bench and beat it flat. And so it's gonna be, I think, a really good template to start with. We're gonna transfer this onto a piece of cardboard that's a little bit bigger, because here's that section here that Ford did not address at all. So are you in the frame, that part? Here, right here. See this? So we're gonna bring it down and do this radius. So let's go transfer this to some cardboard. That'll get us real close. And then it's just a matter of making this curve and cutting a piece out of steel, and we'll be right on to this. So we found cardboard. We're gonna go along here. We're probably just gonna leave this edge. I'm gonna mark this, but we're not gonna do any cutting on this edge, because if I remember right, we took a stabber to it, making sure this was halfway straight. We'll mark this one, and we'll go here to about there. Then we're gonna go here. And then we're gonna match those two lines up. Straight edge. And then when we cut this out, we're actually gonna make it a little bit big here. We're gonna cut right along. Let's make this square anyway. Right along here, and then probably right about, oh no, we need to leave this for that radius. So there and there. This is just some part, the choke cable, I think, package. I hope this is long enough, actually. That radius is bigger than you might think it looks at first. All right, let's go throw it in here and see what it looks like. This is one of those error and trial things that, well, I'll gotta deal with from time to time. Well, it's not too small. That's a good thing. I'm just gonna take a little bit off here and there. A little bit off down here in this corner. I don't think we're gonna take, we might have to take, yeah, up to here. Let's get Sharpie and we'll mark it. Follow our line here, and then the rest of this, just about a blade width to here. And then, well, I got this in a good spot. We're gonna follow our edge and radius that we're making here. Like right here. All right. So in this corner, we're actually going to go to the line. And that should get us flush or really close to it. And then we're going to flip it over and we're going to do our radius thing here. Okay, that's so far so good, I guess. Let's see if we did things right or did things wrong. Yeah, we need a little bit more off here. We actually cut, you guys, we cut the wrong side of our mark last time. Here's the mistake we made. I made my mark, we cut this side. We meant what we wanted to do was to cut this side of blade width. So now what we've got is yeah, we've got a shortage here. We've got a gap here and a gap at the bottom. We might start over here. Turns out we were almost halfway through a dab pop box, so we took the old you know, separator piece out. We're just going to go back to where we started here. Okay, I've made a couple of adjustments as evidenced by my scraps here, but this is where we're going to stop with the cardboard. We don't have to have it exact. I want it pretty darn close, but it doesn't have to be exact because we're going to have to make the steel exact. But yeah, we've got our radius. Everything's just flush. We've got just maybe a spot or two where we're just a tickle high or wide. So, but this is what our patch is going to look like. Now we got to go find some sheet steel, 18 gauge preferred, and cut it out of that. be a little bit big too. And if I'm having trouble controlling the volume of my voice, it's because I still have earplugs in from grinding. Because I'm probably going to have to touch this up just a little bit. But not bad. Let's bring this flush. Yeah. In here. About there. We need a little bit back here. About there. I'm going to end up having to replace the turn signal switch in this Bronco pretty soon, because every time I lean in here to check this, I hit it with my head. Alright, we are flush all the way around. We had to take some of the right angledness out of this transition here down in this inside corner, but we're good there. The issue we'll have to do, and this won't be a big deal, but you've got a little bit of a lip, right? And it's not gonna let me, hang on. Let me get this so it'll sit and I'll show you. We've got a little bit of a lip right here where there's a break in the kick panel. We're gonna have to, we'll put that here and then we'll blend it out as we move down into this where we get into thicker metal and the radius comes into play. So right here we're gonna put a little break in it and bring it down about 1.5 inches and then smooth. All this will be smooth, but we want this to have this little step in it right here. Okay, I apologize for the glare. The sun is getting low. Yeah, so we want to, this is the side of this patch piece that you won't see. So this has to bend out and then back down. Right here we gotta go out, like that. So to go make that go out, we're gonna do just a little bit of something like that. Get you a little better view here. There we go. So now we've got our little out, and then what we're going to do is put it back in the vise. We're going to grab a piece of flat, nice thick flat stock. And we're kind of come in at an angle. We're going to come in kind of like that because we got to be up flat against that little bend we just put in, and when we're going to bend it back the other way just a hair. A little bit more maybe. Know that that's going to be enough. That might be enough. Okay, see what we got there on the end now? we've got our little jump out. So hopefully that'll fit nicely. And then it's only for about a 1/2 inch here, and then it just blends down into flat metal. Let's go see what that looks like in Del Bronco. And this is what I'm talking about here. We need just a little bit more though. We need a little bit more of a jump. So we'll beat on this just a little bit more, and it should end up just about. Oh, there you have it. Come up here on the top edge, and I'm making a shadow every time I try to do this. Here, let's do this. Up here on the top edge, this is that kink, that crimp we put in that bend, and then it only goes down maybe 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch, and then down below we're just flat steel. But that'll match up nicely to the kick panel and the A pillar, I guess hinge support for the door, whatever that is. What is the technical name for this piece? It's gonna look really good. So we're gonna pull this in. This can all get pulled in flush now again. We'll clean it up just a little bit more, and we should be just about ready to start tacking this bad right in. Okay, here's where we're at. Final revision. I forgot we did have to drill some holes so we can plug weld this. There's a seam at the door opening here, and there's also a support for the A pillar that was spot welded behind here, so we'll plug weld into those two things. It looks a little tweaked right now, but that's just normal. We'll tack probably this corner, then we'll tack this corner, and then we'll work probably here, and we'll work our way over to here and bring it all tight as we move along. But it's ready to go. Downside is, remember what I said about that 5 o'clock thing? It's about 5 minutes till the sun is low and the temperature is dropping like a rock, and I don't want to get into this and get the shivers and the shakes as I'm trying to, be careful and weld this in and make it kind of look almost pretty and decent when it's done. So we're gonna let this sit for this evening. We might get out here tomorrow. So I think we'll start this video back up, and we'll go ahead and include the welding of this piece and the grinding and the cleaning up. We should be able to do that. So hey, part 2 continued on the next good weather day. Been a few days. It's been cold, and yeah, you've already seen that part of it. But hope you had a great Christmas. We're back on the Bronco today. We should have hopefully, a good solid dozen hours or so in the next couple days where we can stand to be in the shop without heat. So first things, we left this just sitting here with the magnet. We're gonna tack that in right away, if I don't knock it down first by touching it. And looking at this as I'm talking, we are going to have to do here and here, this way and this way, because our floor sheet will cover that. So I guess I lied to you just a tad. We're going to tack it all in, and then we'll go ahead and stitch this all in here, and then we'll let it sit tacked here, 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 and along here while we do the floor. All right, well, the person who isn't keen on measuring and just likes to send it didn't put the welding gloves back where they go after he sent it. So we're dealing with this right now. Hopefully he'll deliver me my welding gloves before too long. But we're ready, I think. What we're going to do is, what is in my way? What we're going to do is just hold in on this ever so lightly to bring this flush, and then tack it. Then we'll do the same thing on this corner, and then we'll work our way back to the back, towards the back of the vehicle. There. Much better. Okay. Steering wheel is irritating me right now. We're gonna come and we're gonna go up through here. Tack there. I gotta get into this corner. Sorry, my lens is fogging up on my helmet here. I like it. I like it a lot. And we'll come back here. Tack right there. A little bit of a compass on that one, but okay, we can't get to, we don't have a vice grippy clampy thing long enough, so this is going to require us to do what everybody's favorite thing to do is weld above our heads here. That one got a little warm on me. Nice. Okay. Well, that worked out. And it wasn't even too painful. Alright, I'll see you in about 5 minutes when I get out from under here with all this stuff. That's why I am texting like crazy trying to figure out where my welding gloves are. Okay, we got quite a few tiki-taks going here. We're pretty much zippered around the outside pretty good. We had a little more of a gap in the bottom here, so I'm going to turn down the heat and I'm going to work that in first, and then we'll come up the front and get those two pretty much done. The rest of this, like I said, we're just going to leave in this state until we get the floor in. But let's go ahead and close up this front vertical weld and then the bottom weld that I left too much of a gap there. Close. It's a little goobery, but it's kind of grind down nice. Yeah, we're gonna have to grind that down now, and then, you know, we'll fill it in. We'll fill in the little holes that we find. But I'm telling you, it's not as bad as it looks. All right, it's just not. Right, here's where we're at after our first grind. Everything's looking pretty good. We've got a hole up here we got to fill, and then I stuck a light behind the panel, and each one of these, I don't know if you can see them or not, took a Sharpie and put a tick mark. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 little pinholes of light still showing through. We're gonna plug those up with weld right now. I did change my mind. We are gonna go ahead and stitch in this top seam and dress that up and grind it now, because if we wait, I wanted to wait until the pan was in here, but if we do that and we're grinding on this side piece, this A-pillar here, kick panel, A-pillar, whatever you want to call it, the sparks are going to be shooting down, and that means they're just, with a panel here, they're just going to be shooting all over in my grill, and I don't want that to happen. So we're going to go ahead and clean it up and finish this piece up while there's an opening here for the sparks to shoot that away. Okay, it's getting cold and I don't want to put a 50-minute video out. We didn't get quite to where our goal was for today. We kind of wanted to get the floor pan set in there, but we did get our homemade panel in. It's looking really good. Again, this seam here is going to get a filler and smoothed out nice because it'll show down by your feet, and then the rest of it is also going to get primer and painted, and probably just a tickle of undercoating. We're not hiding stuff, we just don't want it to start rusting again. So yeah, that turned out okay. But hey, stay tuned for the next installment of As the Welder Grinds, because that's happening next. Appreciate you watching though. We'll catch you on the next one.